How many times have you seen the bay that calm?
Never.
Very rare. I love that shot. All right, everybody, welcome to another segment of the Fishing Channel's Regional Fishing Report. Tonight we're going to have CL Marshall for the lower Chesapeake Bay. Oh, there you go. You just popped in. It's like I summoned you with my words. I wasn't even ready yet. How are you doing, Captain?
Oh, we're doing good. We're doing good.
Awesome. Before we get into the regional fishing report, because you kind of sprung up on me, we're going to have our trivia question for the evening. It's going to be rolling at the bottom of the screen. And yep. So what does the C? Oh, okay. What does the C stand for in Lady C's nickname? I thought we were going to do the crazy horse. All right, we'll do that one. So tonight's winner received. Okay, I was wrong. All right, my Grant's helping me out here. So we're gonna give away this top water BKD lure, and CL Marshall, you have some experience with this guy, right?
Yeah. We use something very similar to that. I don't have access to the BKDs like some people do, but we use something similar to that. And what we'll do, especially for speckled trout, we'll take off the hook on the front end of it, and we'll leave about a 2.5 foot piece amount of filament down to a 1/4 inch or 3/8 inch lead head, and with a little paddle tail on it. It's amazing what happens when that thing's chugging across the water. More often than not, that the fish we catch is on the dangling bait, if you will.
Here it is.
Yeah, they love a commotion. The speckled trout love a commotion.
Yes, for sure. We got some good specs last year, Grant and I, at a place unknown doing top water. It's really sweet.
We have a winner.
Oh, we have a winner already. That was fast.
What is it? Yeah.
Carl Ward. Carl Ward. You won. Great job. Yes, Lady Chesapeake. So we have our winner already. All right. So much for competition tonight. Got right on that. So, Captain, I guess we can get right into the fishing report. Tell us what's been going on the lower bay for you. I've been looking at your Facebook page, and you got some reds, some togs, some blues, oysters. What else is going on? Tell us all about those good fish you're pulling in.
Well, let me tell you about my Sunday. Everybody talks about all the good things, and you read about all the fish, and you see the pictures, and you go, damn, that's cool. So this Sunday, my engine, I had a 2-5 code flash up on my engine.
Yes.
Engine shuts down, goes into limp mode. No big deal. I know what that is. I know what it is. We know how to get it fixed. So limp back in, take the trolling motor, put it over, make my way back to the harbor. My truck is 20 some miles away. Catch a ride to my truck, right? Truck's not running just right, but it's running. Haul ass back. I have a Owens and Brothers trailer, so I couldn't power load the boat, so I had to crank it up. So as the truck is down the ramp, it blows the transmission line and spews transmission fluid all over the boat ramp. And much like the boxing match back in the day, down goes Marshall. Marshall goes down in the boat ramp. And I'm wallowing around in transmission fluid, trying to get my ass back up. So finally get the boat up. One of my friends comes by, and he's got to tow my broken boat and my broken truck out of the boat ramp. So it's not always peaches and cream. As we were fixing the problem with the error code, smell a little fuel. I'm like, oh, this ain't good. And upon further investigation, there was a hole in my fuel tank.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it just kept getting, it was a great day. So as we sit right now, the folks at Sandpiper Marine, you can't beat them. I took the boat down there on Monday afternoon. They have the tank out Tuesday afternoon. New tanks being built from Atlantic Welding Speedy Tanks up in New Jersey as we speak. I expect to be back in the game the latter part of next weekend,
Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I'm very fortunate to have the folks from Sandpiper and the folks from Atlantic Welding and the Speedy Tank people that are able to do that for me. And, you know, life of a charter captain's not always holding up big fish and smiling, you know?
Yeah, I'm glad that you shared that. You know, what's really great about, you know, the bright side to all this is that all these issues were found when you didn't have people on your
Right.
boat in the middle of the water. So that works out really well that all these issues could be addressed before you go out again on your next charter.
Absolutely. You know, and that's one of the things that myself and all the guys who do this for a living are very cognizant of is the safety. And so many people in a personal fishing trip or whatever, there are certain things you can ignore and get by with. But in what we do, the light tackle guides of the Chesapeake, myself and everybody takes it very seriously. And yes,
Yeah.
did I have to move some trips? Yes. Did I call people and say, hey, can you take these people? Can you take these people? Yes, I did that. 8 trips we moved around. But in the grand scheme of things, that'll come back tenfold because I did the right
Yes.
thing, and the safety aspect is paramount. Bunch of good guys in Chesapeake, you know, and they take it
Yes.
serious, and they do, and they treat their customers right.
Yeah. I mean, everyone I've had the pleasure to get to know, I agree with you, just really awesome people who are on the water and connecting with people. But like you said, getting on some great fish is great.
Yep.
But I think the experience is awesome
It
as
really
well. I'm
is.
sure you have a lot of people giving rave reviews. I haven't gotten to them yet on your Facebook page about the great experience they have with you.
Yeah.
You know, and going back to your boat though, it's amazing how that all worked out. I know that
Yeah.
COVID still has this ripple effect still. So the fact that you're having a great turnaround is pretty amazing.
It is. And, you know, I'm a firm believer in loyalty. You know,
Yeah.
I'm very loyal to Hook Optics. I'm very loyal to Sandpiper Marine. And, you know, I've probably sold them 20 engines and that many or more trailers just by people ask me, who do you use? And I'll tell them why. And this is just another example. They know this is what I do. They know the trips I have booked. They actually booked me for the Anancock Croaker Challenge. So I ran their boat for that, which was quite an experience.
Yeah.
And, but so it's all about relationships, you know.
Yes.
I've said many times, you don't buy the motor, you buy the mechanic, and
Yes.
and that's what's going to have me back fishing. I had a call today for a trip on the 12th. I took it. That's how confident I am.
Wow. Well, it sounds like even the struggles pay dividends, right? That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, you just can't. Somebody asked me what I was going to do. I said, "What do you think I'm going to do? Quit?" No, I'm not going to quit. Let's keep going.
Right on. Yeah, we need you on the water. I think you're a great captain. So I'd love to hear if there's nothing else you want to share. Thanks for sharing that. That's really important.
Yeah,
But
this is what it is, you know. And we could have won money on America's Funniest Videos too, because when I stood up, them damn reef flip flops were soaked with transmission fluid, and when I stood up, they slipped out from under me again. I took them off. I threw them in the harbor, one right hand, one left hand. I don't know where they're probably near Tangier by now. I don't know, but I wasn't very happy.
Yeah, those classic moments, right?
But the fishing's been decent. We went down Friday night, and you know they wanted to catch some reds. I had some college buddies, a group of college buddies that were down, and we were able to pick up 3 reds on that night. That was good. And the couple boats beside me, I called in some friends because I had a few fish around, and those guys picked up some as well. One of the interesting things that we've been seeing down here, the red fishing is all fun and all, but a lot of small black drum, a lot of small black drum in that 15 to 20 pound range, fun to catch on light tackle, and delicious to eat.
Yes. Yes. I caught a citation black drum last year. Unfortunately, I didn't get to eat it. I wasn't expecting getting a citation or anything big enough to bring home, so I didn't have anything. I let the captain have it. It's like, go on.
Yeah. So that's been good. It's been an unexpected bycatch. The other thing that's been nice is the sheepshead fishing. For those of you who haven't tried it, you really need to, because aside from reds and covies and Spanish right now, and the rockfish up the bay, you know, our options are somewhat limited. So when there's a new species that introduced that's absolutely delicious on the table, you know, I think it's something that we should look at. And speaking of sheepshead, you know, I would like to see. I think it's time for there's so much pressure on that fishery right now.
Yes.
I would like to see at least Virginia with some sort of get ahead of the curve and have some sort of bag limit on those things. You know, I'd like to see maybe a 2, 3, 4 fish limit. I don't see any need for people to be killing, you know, 4, 6, 8 of those fish at a time.
Yeah. Well, we have a good person who is who's got an ear for things like this. David Sikorsky is viewing right now, so I'm sure your message has been heard. But he has a question. How do you prefer to cook small black drum?
That's a great question. The last time I cooked it, we were cooking ribeye steaks over charcoal grill, and I marinated the black drum fillets in what was it, Italian dressing, a little bit of Tabasco, and some lemon juice. And I actually cooked it right on the grate that we were cooking the steaks on. That was delicious. And I love it fried. There's nothing better. There's my dad's birthday is the 1st of May. And it's always been, it's like a rite of spring on the eastern shore of Virginia, at least. When the dogwoods bloom and you catch your first black drum, it's springtime. So it needs to be fried. But something that a lot of people overlook, not locally where I live, but in many parts of Delmarva, is the ribs, the drum ribs. If you haven't had drum ribs, do yourself a favor. The next time you catch one or clean one, take some shears and cut those ribs out. They look very similar to spare ribs, if you will. Oh, you cut them in 2 to 3 rib pieces. You batter them, you deep fry them. Let me tell you, absolutely delicious.
That sounds really delicious.
Yeah, and plus you can barbecue them. You can do a lot with them. So yeah, I like to either marinate it and grill it, preferably in small chunks, and I like it deep fried in an egg wash, high sultry batter. And I like the small ones. The ones we're catching now are absolutely delicious.
Oh, it sounds like you need to create some kind of Chesapeake Bay fishing cookbook, because that sounds amazing.
You know, I just happen to have one. It's called A Taste of Eastern Shore Living. Yes. And that was the first book I did. It's a cookbook about wild game and locally available species, oysters and crabs and clams and fish. And it's divided into appetizers and entrees and soups. It's called A Taste of Eastern Shore Living. It's a self-published entity, and I probably sold more. Well, that's not true. I've sold a good amount of them. It's a good book, and the cool thing about it is, in front of each recipe, there's a little story that tells where it came from. There's one sandwich called the Peacemaker, and it basically comes off of it comes from a dredge boat oyster sandwich recipe, where you cook the fat back in the skillet first, then you fry the oysters and you fry the tomatoes and you put it all together and you smash it down together. It's called the Peacemaker. It's an old Maryland recipe, but the cookbooks are available from me. You can email me, you can FaceTime me, whatever, and I can certainly get you one of those. But the other books are available through Amazon or Walmart's or wherever. I mean, I've been blessed with that.
Yeah, and you have an upcoming book that we talked about last time.
I do. I just the cover art on it is absolutely stunning. Fantastic photography from Inline Productions. Those guys are Locked In Productions, I should say. Locked In Productions. If you haven't seen any of their outdoor photography, I strongly suggest you take a look at it. They have some stunning shots from this morning's goose hunt. So yeah, it shows a definite evolution in hunting styles from the run and gun of one's youth to a more conservative steward of the environment as you get older. So. But let's talk about fishing.
Yes. No, I wanted to plug that shamelessly for you. That's why I threw that out there, because I was looking at your book sales and want to let people know that you're just not a charter captain. You write books as well, and some really good ones, and one's coming out as well. Before we start, sometimes we have people who log in and have to get off a little early. Just really quick, and we'll mention this again at the end of the show. Tangier Sound charters. How do people get a hold of you if they want to book with you, if they happen to be in the Chesapeake Bay area?
They can be wherever they want. I booked one today from Ohio. So I think a phone call works, 410-251-7341. or my face. That's 410-251-7341. Or
Okay.
the Facebook thing. You can find me on there. Email
Okay.
clmarshall@comcast.net. All the traditional channels.
Awesome. So we'll put that up for everyone to see. Yeah, let's get into the fishing report, the meat and potatoes here. What's going on?
Yeah. Your Spanish mackerel fish has been good. That's been real good. Inline sinkers, fast moving water, #1 planers, double up Clark spoons. And that's been fun. We did a little bit of that toward the end of last week, and it was good. We caught some nice fish as well. So that's been decent. Speckled trout fishing has been on the upswing. And
Okay.
one of the things that is often overlooked that I had a group, all they wanted to do was bend a rock. They wanted to catch fish, didn't care what they were. I said, all right. So we went fishing for blue channel cats. And
Ooh. Huh.
yeah. And what was interesting was, even though it was a little warm, we fished some deeper water, and the rod stayed bent all day, and these people were happy. And we kept a lot of fish, and we cleaned them. The meat was beautiful on them. I took some home and ate it, and it was absolutely delicious. So looking forward to this fall as the what was that, the kid thing? Was that the kid movie?
Oh, sorry.
This fall, we're looking as the water cools. I'm looking forward to getting more involved with that. In the spring, when it was cool, we had some that neared 30 pounds. And
wow.
And down where we are in the Pocomoke River area, there's not a lot of pressure on them. People are, I don't think they understand. I don't think they've been educated to the invasive destruction that these fish can do. They hear people talking about it, and then we're looking forward to a little education piece on that in the Pocomoke Fire Company Catfish Tournament, which is the 17th of this month. We've got some flyers and stuff to go in there, and I think more people, we're conditioned to catch rock and redfish and drum. That's what I'm conditioned to do. But these blue channel cats, they fight good. They're readily available. They're delicious. They check all the boxes. So anxious to get some more people down here engaged in that fishery.
Yeah, that's a good point. Bring awareness to maybe not such a popular fish, right?
Right.
But like you said, good fight, good eating.
Right.
Yeah.
And in the same area we caught those. We caught 20 some odd perch that day. We had a little bit of rockfish. It was a busy day, and busy is good.
Yes.
Good. So
yeah, I want to get into some of the fish that you mentioned, but I have a very eager beaver question from the audience here. Sabine, Grant's daughter, has a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, she's ready.
When do you think you could catch a striped bass again?
Tomorrow.
Thank you, Steve.
I hope tomorrow anyhow. That's the plan. But we've got some. We don't have them in quite the numbers that they have up in the chop tank right now, and up in that area. Areas north seem to be holding a few more straight bass than we're holding down here. But we've had no issues in coming up with their limits, the times that we've targeted those. So that's good to see.
Yeah, I want to get back to the catfish. Where are you finding them? Obviously, Grant says we're not going to spot burn, but what part of the bay are you finding them?
Listen, trust me, ain't nobody coming down the Pocomoke River to fish for catfish. I can assure you of that. But we are. I fish deeper water in the Pocomoke River. 30 feet or so. 25 feet. A sandy bottom is what I find them on.
Yes. Yeah.
That's where I find them. I don't know how that equates to what other people do. I'd never done it before, but it was fun, and the rod stayed bent, and the fish were good. They were delicious, and that's
for sure.
Yep.
Oh, we have another question. Shore Sharp. Have you been fishing around the target ship lately? I for the first time ever, Grant showed me the target ship. So this is a really good question.
Nothing to see there. Yeah, I was out there a few times last week. It's always on my rotation, if you will. There's a little rotation that I usually run through when things get tough, and that's on it. Um, I didn't do much. I was there Saturday, I've been Friday. I don't know. One of those days I was there. I know I saw one of my buddies there. That's for sure. We fished all around it. I was hoping to catch some sheepshead around it, quite honestly.
Okay.
That's what I was looking for, and I got overrun with little black sea bass, and
Oh, wow.
yeah, I wasn't gonna. I just got tired of that quickly and moved on to bluefish. There's a lot of bluefish around there now for those
Mm.
interested in casting or trolling around those things. I think there's more on the outside target ship than there is on the inside target ship.
Yes. Yeah.
But be careful out there because it's a couple pieces that
Mm,
they come up out of the water. So get the lay of the land before you commit to fishing around that thing.
for sure. So let's go back to some of the other fish. Let's see what we have here. We have reds, we have
Yep.
togs, blues. How about the togs?
Yeah, that was, we were in some deeper water structure looking to try to catch some slot reds. We were fishing 40, 45 feet of structure in the bay. And what do you know it? Ran across some of them. They were healthy, they were good. We released all of those. We weren't, I wasn't real sure if season was in or not. I can't remember half the damn time. But it was summertime, so we let them go. We probably had 6 or 8 of them. And I think that's another fishery in the fall as the water temperature cools that especially Virginia anglers
Yes.
overlook. I
Yeah.
think it's plenty of them. There's more and more structure in the water now. I know the Anglers Reef off of behind a Nancock holds some. There's a new reef off Nassawadox that holds some. There's one off Occohannock. The target ships, of course, I believe you can catch them on the Mariner. Probably catch a lot more of them on the Mariner than you would on that inside target ship at Tangier. I'd strongly suggest people go up there.
Okay.
but
Thank yep.
it's something I think I'd like to see more people should take advantage of that in the fall because it's a bunch of them. The tog fishing
Yeah.
can be good, and they're delicious.
Yeah, they're beautiful fish. I caught a couple with beach charters in Virginia last year.
Yeah,
And I've never seen such a, well, I'm sure there's plenty more fish to see, but they're very funny looking fish up close. They look like they're missing some teeth, but yeah, really good. It was a really good fight though. And,
yeah,
you know, like you said, we're conditioned to target reds, striped bass, but there are just so many other fish available to us in the bay that are just really beautiful and fascinating and a really good fight and a good eating.
right. One of the things that we've seen in increasing numbers down on the mid bay is Florida pompano.
Oh,
Annie Parks had one the other day. It was 4 pounds, 8 ounces. There's been a lot of reports of them, of people catching them on crab, bottom fishing, shallow water,
crap. Yeah.
and uh, and they're absolutely delicious. If you've never had one, I strongly suggest trying them. I think we'll see that fishery over the next few years do nothing but get better and better. I think that with warming waters, I mean, the water was so warm. We caught one the other year in the Tangier Sand Classic, about almost a 3 pounder or something. But
Mhm.
I think we'll see more and more of those in the southern part of the bay as time marches on.
Okay. Well, as summer unfortunately is going to wind down at some point, it's been so hot lately. It's crazy.
Yeah.
What do you project, or can you share with the audience, because we do have a lot of people who um, don't fish every day, so they're not really familiar with change of season, change of fish. So moving into the fall season, what fish are out in the bay?
Well, of course, striped bass, and that's the
Mhm.
big one for a lot of people. They're accessible. You don't have to go far to catch them most of the time. You catch them
Mhm.
around the bank, you catch them on the beach, you can catch them without a boat. And if you have a small boat and can get out to some of the smaller guts and tributaries around, you can certainly catch them there. One of the things that we look forward to in October, when the season in Virginia comes in, is fishing around the bank. We'll troll around the bank with bucktails and the way I did with my grandfather. And that's kind of cool to catch them that way. As the water continues to cool, we'll move up some of this. When I say a small gut or tributary, a lot of these places that we fish are, 20 feet wide, 15 feet wide. Yeah, it's
Wow.
not big, it's skinny water. And there's nothing more satisfying than being up up inside the marshes, not along the inside of it. And, casting light bucktails, 1/4 ounce, 3/8 ounce bucktails toward points and crevices and stumps. And it's very Florida-esque, if you will. It's more like hunting than it is fishing. And
Yes.
we really enjoy that. That's
Yes.
something that we do that a lot in September. I mean, in October and November, because it's so different. Spend so much time, so much of our time out in the middle of the bay,
Yes.
right under the islands or this or that. But to be tucked up in a estuary somewhere 100 yards inside of a marsh, it's all kinds of cool things to see there.
Yes. Yes. Right on. I feel the same way. I usually, I'm on a kayak when I do those things, but being on a boat, I've never experienced that. So that'd be interesting.
The kayak will be really cool because you're so much closer to it. I have a lot of friends who actually take their kayak with them, jump in the kayak, and then go up the small guts and stuff, and they do very well. They do very well.
That's awesome. I love that you offer that diverse approach to your fishing charters.
Right.
I don't know anyone else who does that, so that's really unique.
Well, one of the first things I ask them is like, "What do you want to do today?" Or what are your expectations? Because then I can kind of tailor the day to meet those. Some of them are outrageous, but but many of them are, hey, we want to catch a lot of fish. We don't care how big they are. We want to go catch a trophy red drummer. We want to do this. Or can you take us to Tangier? That's a big part of it. I'm a big fan of that midday Four Brothers ice cream cone. Big fan of that. And I'm a big fan of the soft crab sandwich at Lorraine's, and I'm a big fan of the crab cake at Drum Point Market. So, believe me, don't tempt me with a good meal. I'll go.
Awesome. Well, we are ending our time on the show, unfortunately. We're just getting started, I feel like. But thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, I'll
Capt.
leave you with this. As we get into the next, until we meet again, I would strongly suggest people begin taking some looks in the shallows once again. We've been concentrated on deep water efforts for a while.
Yeah.
I think the shallows will start to turn on. When I say shallows, that 3 to 5 foot range. I think speckled trout fishing, rock fishing, and red drum fishing will pick up in the shallows relatively soon. Peelers are going to go away quick, so bait slingers are going to be at a disadvantage.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, thank you again so much, Captain Seal Marshall. Always a pleasure as usual. Everyone, thanks for tuning in. Sorry we have to rush off for our next segment. But everyone have a great night and fish on.
Thank you.